This young lady said she had 8 abortions and her friend had 2 abortions already this year, and it's only February. And that's not the crazy thing. The crazy thing is they both under the age of 22 years old. What?
You are now tuned in to Gutta And Saved.
I'm Mr. Gas now. That stands for Gutta And Saved. I'm doing God's work now.
Hey man, I appreciate the views and all, but I'm going to need y'all to smash up the like button. I'm going to need y'all to get down in the comment section. I'm going to need y'all to share this out to a friend. Tell a friend who will tell a friend who will tell a next of kin. Your boy St. Reese is back at it again. There's a trend going on around social media called We Listen and We Don't Judge. If you've been on TikTok and on some other social media sites such as Instagram, the kids are doing this listen and we don't judge. I even partook in the whole we listen and we don't judge. And I ain't get crazy. But man, these people is taking this trend a little bit too far, but it's actually exposing a lot of what's going on with these young people these days. So I was watching this YouTube video. It was sent to me by one of my followers, right? And 2 young ladies partook in that trend, we listen and we don't judge, and they confessed to having multiple abortions. And that's not even, I ain't even gonna play the whole thing because they confessed a lot of other stuff. It was a bunch of kids around in a circle talking about what they listen and they don't judge. And man, these young people is moving foul. But let's check out the clip real quick of, the young ladies talking about how, they had these abortions. Check this clip out.
Clock dead.
I had like 8 abortions in total.
We listen but we don't judge.
Woo. Hold on, let me play the other one. Now this the other girl. This her friend.
Judge.
I had 2 abortions this year. We
listen but we don't judge.
FTK, I'm with you.
Is that crazy? Is that crazy? 8 abortions? That's wild. That is wild. And her friend said she had 2 abortions just this year already? That's diabolical. That is diabolical. And the crazy thing is, these young girls is no older than 22 years old or younger. That's the crazy thing. That is some crazy work out here. We need to talk about this real quick, real rap. Y'all know, I did a video a couple months ago about how, the AIDS and the HIV rate is skyrocketing through the young people once again like it was when it first came out in the 80s. Like the high schools and the young people, they just sleeping around, and this fast culture, this hookup culture is ruining these young people, man. They around here humping like it's going out of style. Raw diggity. Look, Atlanta, Houston, Philly, and so many other, cities, big cities around the world, is their HIV and AIDS rate and STD rate all together is through the roof. These young women is getting abortions like they out of style. These young men and women is getting disease like it's going out of style. I remember seeing a clip where a young lady was talking about how they are taking the meds away from people who have HIV, and now they don't know how they're going to get. They don't know how they're going to get their meds, and she was on there crying because people is going to pretty much end up dying.
We're just walking home from dinner, and this lady just looks at us like this, and she's like, "Did you know 20 million people aren't going to get their medication for HIV?" She was like, "I don't know what to do. I just found out. I don't know what to do. My friend just called me, and I just found out. Like, I'm an artist. I'm gonna try to call and get some fundraisers going." And I was like, "Okay, let us know. I don't know what to do either." And it just felt like one of those, if the building was on fire, I would grab everyone and be like, "Oh, we have to go this way." You break the fourth wall a little bit. Something about this, yeah.
They promoting this hookup culture, this this fast lifestyle, this sexual liberation culture, and people just out here meet and catching all type of crazy stuff, getting abortions, having kids out of wedlock, and all this stuff, and just so the government can control you. I believe it's a control because they want to control you through the welfare if you have the kids, and they want to control you through, if you get disease, they're gonna control you through the medical field. So because you're gonna have to continue to go to them to get there, to get your shot and all that. I mean, to get your pills and all that stuff, and then they have this thing called PrEP. And you know what? I'm gonna make a podcast on that. We're gonna talk about that another day. But these young women and men is having these kids all over the place. And like this young girl just said, she had 8 abortions. And it's crazy. She's having abortions like it's just some type of casual walk in the park. Like it's a form of birth control or something. No, listen, sexual perversion, sexual immorality, and promiscuity is at its all-time high in this time. I know it's always been crazy, but it's being so we have social media and all this stuff. It's even crazier because you can see it on your phone. You can know where all the people at. You can put yourself in the position to be where they at. And now you're going to be over there, you know what I mean, doing what you do. People, listen, in my honest opinion, people do not respect life anymore. They don't respect their bodies no more. They just meet like they not learning from what happened in the past. All the people who died of AIDS now. I know they saying that, well, people living with it now. You can live with it now. They got disease. People don't die. But still, at the end of the day, who want to be diseased? Who, like, how you see that young lady right there? She was like, kind of like, she said, like, and then she started smiling, like, like this was cool that she had 8 abortions. It's crazy. Everything today is about sexual gratification these days and pleasure. You see what I'm saying? Everybody want what they want, and then when the consequences come out, they feel like, oh, I can go take a plan B, or I can go get an abortion, or, you know what I mean, and all that stuff. You see what I'm saying? Look, I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all. In my honest opinion, we need to bring back righteous judgment, real rap. We need to bring back shame altogether. Righteous shame, righteous judgment. Let me listen. I'm talking about, how people used to shame people back in the day to where you was like, man, like, I don't want to do that because I ain't trying to get cracked on. You couldn't move around the hood being, being a smut. You want to know why? Because you got shamed for it. You know what I mean? You got shamed for being a smut. So a lot of the chicks they ain't want to be the smuts. We knew who the chicks. Anyway, I know. Anyway. Now, there's a difference between condemning a person in judgment and righteous judgment. Let me say that again. There's a difference between righteous judgment and condemning judging. You see what I'm saying? And there's a difference, a huge difference. You don't have to condemn people to judge them. You can righteously judge them. Condemning judgment and righteous judgment. You know what? Let me break it down real quick. Condemning judging is telling someone you're trash, you ain't worthy, yada, yada, yada. Now, I ain't talking about that type of judgment. I'm talking about the judgment that leads you to a righteous path that make you think like, oh man, I'm on file. Like when you tell a homie, like, or tell your sis, like, yo, I love you enough to tell you the truth, but you out here moving foul. You bugging. You did what? Yo, you nasty, bruh. Or you nasty, sis. You did that with him. You what? You had how many? Yo, you unaliving like that? You eating the feet like you moving like that? Nah, you wow, you but that's the type of judgment and shaming I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? That is a huge difference. The crazy thing is these young women feel so liberated having these abortions. And when you hear a lot of these people, I'm gonna play a clip real quick where a young lady talked. She was like she looked evil when she talked about I forget how many abortions she said she had. Watch this clip real quick.
I love killing babies. I love it.
Jesus, we have to give her the word.
I've had like 45 abortions and I'm going to keep having them.
Yeah, that's wild. No shame. no shame. And look, you saw her face, right? It's crazy. These young people feel so liberated having these abortions because they feel like they socking it to the man because the man is supposed to be taking their rights away. And the reason why they having these abortions mainly because there is no righteous judgment, and they don't want to be held accountable by nobody, not even their friends and their family, because you know how to say, don't judge. We listen and we don't judge. There's nobody in these people's lives that's going to tell them that y'all wrong and you out of pocket, you out here moving foul. Listen, let me tell you why. That people don't like to say anything to young women like this anymore. Let me tell you why. It's because people are scared to being called judgmental. Oh, you're judging. And then people start explaining and, I ain't being judgmental. And then, listen, I listen and I judge. I listen and I judge. I ain't going to shame you. I ain't going to condemn you, but I'm going to righteously will you back in. It's young women like that. They need guidance. Young men and women out here need guidance out here because they out here moving real foul. They listen, how else they going to find their way if everybody is scared to point them in the right direction? If everybody's scared to tell them you out here moving foul, how we going to look forward to the next generation, doing anything empowerment and powerful in our country if we scared to hold them accountable? And listen, if you look at this generation of young people now, they unruly. They don't want rules. But yet y'all want them to lead us and guide us, and y'all want them to be the leaders of the new school when they don't even have no boundaries. Y'all bugging. See, here's the problem. A lot of old heads is trying to be friends with these YNs and these young women. Real rap. Y'all trying to be their friends. The old heads are smoking with them now. The old heads is drinking with them now. The old heads is partying with them now. The old heads is dressing like them now. The old heads is even talking like them and using their slang and all that stuff now. There is no distinction between the YNs, the young chicks, and the old heads nowadays. You see what I'm saying? Now, when I was coming up, I know y'all be like, man, here go the old head talk when I was coming up. Nah, listen. When I was coming up, our old heads was not trying to be our friends. They wasn't hanging around smoking and drinking and trying to party with us all the time. Nah, our old heads wasn't doing that. We had to sneak and hide to do some of the crazy stuff we was doing because the old heads back in our day used to take us by the neck and take us to the crib or tell us to get off the street so they gonna do something to us. Our old heads was not scared to hold us accountable. Real rap. Our old heads was not scared to hold us accountable. Now, y'all want to know what else crazy that I found that about this whole situation? We're watching a whole generation of young people destroy themselves because we're scared to speak up. We're scared to be called judgmental, or we scared to judge. You see what I'm saying? We scared to be called old-fashioned or old heads. We scared to say, it ain't, you know what I mean? We scared to step up and hold these people accountable. I mean, these young people accountable. Real rap. And the reason why is because we want to be like them too. Well, not me, y'all. Yo, and that's why we got trends like we listen and we don't judge. That's why that trend is so popular now. And it's becoming the norm because now it's to the point where the mothers and the dads is smoking and drinking and carrying on with the kids and with their kids' friends. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Now, when did the mothers and the grandmothers party, drink, and smoke and all that stuff? When did that start happening? That's this generation. I'm judging. I don't care. I don't smoke, drink, or do nothing. Carry on with my kids. All my kids are adults. I don't do none of that stuff. And I know, they're adult, they can do it, but they don't bring that stuff to me. Real rap. I ain't that type of parent. I ain't on that type of time. Real rap. Listen, if you're watching this, right, and you're living that life, because I want to will this in. Listen, This ain't about condemning you. I ain't trying to condemn you. I ain't trying to, to bring condemnation and a bad shame. But hear me out. I am judging righteously because I love you. This is about wanting you to do better for you than you want for yourself right now. Because here's the thing, here's the fact of the matter, just for the young men and the young women. When you get older, that very thing that you don't have no shame about now because you feel like you're young, you're going to have shame about it when you get older. It's going to hurt you when you get older. You're going to have time to think when you get older, all those abortions and all the stuff that y'all doing. And then if you get a disease that only Jesus can cure, you got to live with that. You got to live with the consequence of that decision for the rest of your life. You see what I'm saying? So listen, you have to put a stop to it now before you end up being diseased, end up becoming a baby mom or a baby father to a person you really don't want to be with. Or like this young lady, popping Plan Bs and having abortions like it's going out of style. You see what I'm saying? Listen, if you are an old head and you're watching this, we have to stop being silent. We have to stop feeling like, oh, what are they going to judge? They don't want us to judge them. Nah, it's a way to do it. You can pull these young people to the side, these YNs and these young girls to the side, and like, yo, all right, yo, you moving foul. You know what I mean? You out here, that ain't the move. You don't act like them because all that lead down one path, and that's destruction. It's time to speak up with love and with compassion, but with truth, sincerity, and letting them know like, yo, you out of pocket. You out of pocket, man. But that's all I got for y'all, man. It's your boy St. Reese. This is the Gutta And Saved podcast. Y'all already know. Do something for the podcast today. Check out our merch store, gasmerch.com. It's going to be pinned down in the description area down there. You're going to see our merch store down there. I appreciate y'all, man. I thank y'all for rocking out with me. And you already know my slogan. It's not about how much Bible you know, but it's about how much Bible you willing to obey. And if God willing, I'll holler at y'all on the flip. Peace.
Considered the greatest spitting. I tell them I'm Christ-like. They envision modern Christian. Tell them I'm nothing like check conditions of how I'm living. I preach Christ. We ain't fake delivering. Listen, Candyman, soon as they. It's not about how much Bible chapter and verse you know. It's about how much Bible you willing to obey.